From Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak, Alaska, it is game number 38 between your Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks and the Anchorage Bucs. A very pleasant Wednesday evening to you all. I am Andrew Alex. Alongside me is my broadcast partner, Garrett Mansfield. The Chinooks fell short in a very, very well-fought game Monday night versus not the Anchorage, but the Peninsula Oilers, but look to come back stronger today against the American Division champions, the Anchorage Bucs. They will send Braxton Wilkes to the hill. Wilkes comes into this game with a 1.45 ERA. He has struck out 25 over 43 and a thirds innings pitch and has been a mainstay in the Chinook rotation. And he will face off against Taylor Jones, a guy for the Anchorage Bucs that has pitched 30 third innings, posting a 3.86 ERA. But without further ado, let's get to the starting lineups. First for the Anchorage Bucs, batting first and playing center field, Brody Leffridge. Batting second, playing left field, Grant Palmer. Batting third and playing first base, Bren Conrad. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Dylan Butler. Batting fifth, Justin Jacobs. He'll be in right field. Batting sixth and playing third base, McCarthy Tatum. The catcher, David Benuelos. Batting seventh. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Michael Stefanik. And in the 9-hole, Jake Plazik. He will be playing shortstop. Now for your Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. On defense, catching will be Tyler Boxwell, Patrick Cromwell at third, Hunter Hanks at short, Will Bass over at second, Holt Davis at first, Caleb Potter in left, Cam Baronic in center, and holding down right field will be Jacob Brost. But looks like we're about ready for first pitch here. Braxton Wilkes sets, delivers the first pitch to this ball game is ball one, low and away. Brody Leffridge, the center fielder for the Bucs. He's from the University of Tennessee, comes into this game batting a .203 mark, and he pops that one into center field. Coming under it, Cam Baronic makes the grab for out number one. And we have some word from the Bucs broadcaster. This is the first game Brody Leffridge has played in the leadoff spot, but he starts this one off with a fly out to center field. And one up, one down for Braxton Wilkes, and now he's going to face off against Grant Palmer. Grant Palmer from UC Irvine. That's the school where Cam Baronic started his college career. First pitch to him, and that's in the zone to call strike one. Fastball, letter high. Palmer comes into this game batting a .227 mark. Wilkes sets, delivers, and that one's fouled off back towards Ty Beck and the Chinooks dugout. So the count 0-2. Braxton Wilkes quickly getting ahead in the count on the left fielder, Grant Palmer. Wilkes the 0-2 pitch, and that one's lined right up the middle into center field, and that's going to be a base hit, the first hit of the day for either side. Now Grant Palmer's over at first with a base hit. So with a man on and one out here on the top of the first, we're going to see Bren Conrad come to the plate. Conrad, a .292 batting average with 8 RBIs. He comes from the University of Louisiana Lafayette, playing alongside two of his teammates here in Stephen Trosclair and Dylan Butler. First pitch from Braxton Wilkes, and that's upstairs. Ball one. Here's the 1-0. And that one just off the plate, ball two. So the count 2-0. The Anchorage Bucs, a team winning 8 of their last 10 and cruising their way into a spot in the top of the World Series. And Braxton Wilkes, the 2-0 pitch there, fastball about belt high, but just missed off the plate. So falling behind 3-0 in the count is Braxton Wilkes. And Wilkes throws a 3-0, get me across pitch, makes the count 3 balls, 1 strike with 1 down. You're on the top of the first inning. Palmer takes his lead over at first, and Braxton Wilkes quick to check him up over there. Keep him honest. So the count stays 3-1. Wilkes looks to the catcher, Boxwell, for the sign. He likes it, the pitch, and that one's fouled hard down the left field line, out of play. So Braxton Wilkes quickly fights his way back into this count after falling behind 3-0. And that foul ball brought to you by the fine folks at Edward Jones Financial Investments. And Wilkes with the pickoff attempt. Not in time. So, Braxton Wilkes continues to check up. Grant Palmer over there at first base. He's got a decent-sized lead, but Wilkes sets, delivers, and that one's driven into deep left field, and that's going, or right field, I should say, and that goes over the head of Jacob Ropes, rounding first and going to third. Is Grant Palmer, and he's over at third, and now a one-out double from Brent Conrad has runners at second and third with one out. For Dylan Butler, Braxton Wilkes getting himself into a little bit of trouble here early, allowing 2 base hits. And now the Bucs are threatening. Of course, this is the first game managed by new Chinooks manager Cody Crutcher. Crutcher will manage the remaining games this season for the Chinooks. Here's the first pitch to Dylan Butler, and that one's downstairs. Butler, one of the representatives in the home run derby for the Anchorage Bucs. He made it to the semifinal round before being defeated by Joe Wainhouse in a derby that Caleb Potter eventually won, and that 1-0 pitch to Dylan Butler finds the zone for a called strike one. A big out here early for Braxton Wilkes. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that one finds the lower inside part of the zone for a called strike two. So the count moves 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. A scoreless game here in the top of the first. But the Bucs threatening with runners at second and third. Braxton Wilkes. He sets and delivers. The pitch. And that one below. Tyler Boxwell scoops it up out of the dirt. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dylan Butler, a guy who batting .259 on the year, 6 RBIs, 1 home run. Trying to give his Anchorage Bucs an early lead. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Braxton Wilkes, and that one's fouled off hard over the Buck dugout, and we're going to stay at 2-2. And that one's grounded to the shortstop, Hunter Hanks, who cannot make a play on it, and it goes into center field. Coming around third to score is going to be Brent Conrad. And an error by the shortstop, Hunter Hanks, has plated 2 runs for the Anchorage Bucs, and the score 2-0 in favor of the boys from the big city of Anchorage. Just a sharply hit ground ball, but Hunter Hanks unable to make a play on it. In what could have been a routine, perhaps, play that would have held the Bucs to 1 run, if not holding the runner at third altogether. But the ball just slips by the mid of Hanks, and now the Bucs have an early 2-0 lead, and now batting with 1 out and a runner on second is Justin Jacobs. Justin Jacobs from Gonzaga. See no shortage of guys from Gonzaga in this league so far this year. He comes in batting .242, 12 RBIs. He scored 10 runs. First pitch to him, a strike. Here's the 0-1, and that one missing on the lower outside corner. He uses the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. The Chinooks falling behind early in a game that they seem to maybe have in their favor with the Bucs not putting Stephen Trosclair in their lineup. But Justin Jacobs fouls that one off. Makes the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still just 1 out. Runner at second is Dylan Butler. And that pitch is driven into foul ground, third base side. Patrick Cromwell chasing it, but he's going to watch it sail over the wall. So the count stays 1-2 strikes with 1 out here. Wilkes looking into the catcher, Boxwell. He sets, delivers, and that one's taken on the outside. A fastball missing. Evens the count up 2-2. The pitch. And that one's chopper into center field. Coming under is Camberana. He dives but can't make the grab. But that'll hold the runner at second. So a single for Justin Jacobs. And now the Bucs with runners at first and second. That's the second hit. Or should I say the third hit. Surrendered by Braxton Wilkes on the day. And now it's going to be McCarthy Tatum batting with runners at first and second. Braxton Wilkes retired the first batter he saw. That was Brody Leffridge. But since then, a single, a double, an error that resulted in 2 runs scored. Now a single from Justin Jacobs, and the inning keeps going. McCarthy Tatum lays down the bunt. Braxton Wilkes throws on over to first for the out, but advances the runners to second and third, respectively. A sacrifice bunt. So now David Benuelos coming to the plate with runners at second and third and 2 outs. Benuelos, the catcher. His line on the season, a 182 batting average. 4 RBIs. He has just 55 at-bats for the Anchorage Bucs this summer, but that's in a catching position where, you're going to have to split up the at-bats between a number of guys. And the Bucs have used Corey Voss a little bit behind the plate, as well as Nick Warren. And none of those guys batting over a 210 mark. The 1-0 pitch here. And Benuelos drives that one into deep left field. Going back is Caleb Potter, and he's going to stop at the warning track, make the grab, and that is out number 3. But the Bucs with 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 men left aboard, and we are in the middle of 1. Then the score is 2-0 in favor of the Anchorage Bucs. And now we're going to take a look at the Chinook batting order for tonight's contest. They come in, obviously, already behind, and that's not a position that's been friendly with the Chinooks all season. If they fall behind early in games, it has not been a good sign for an offense that has really struggled to score runs throughout many parts of this season. But without further ado, let's get to the lineup. Batting first from Santa Ana College, the third baseman, Patrick Cromwell. Batting second from UAB, the designated hitter, Matt Ferruto. Batting third also from Santa Ana College will be the center fielder, Cam Baronic. Batting fourth from the Ohio State University will be right fielder, Jacob Brose. Batting fifth and playing left field is Caleb Potter. He's from West Virginia University. Batting sixth, the catcher from Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas, Tyler Boxwell. Batting seventh from Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee, the shortstop, Hunter Hanks. Batting eighth from Atlanta, Georgia, the first baseman from UAB, Colt Davis, and in the 9-hole, the second baseman from Wayland Baptist, Will Bass. Pitching tonight for the Anchorage Bucs is Taylor Jones. And Taylor Jones, a guy who got first team all West Coast Conference honors, but that was as a batter this year for Gonzaga, and he's one of a number of Gonzaga guys that we have seen throughout the Alaska Baseball League this season. But talking about Jones as a pitcher, his last outing came on July 23rd, and that was against the Peninsula Oilers. In that game, he pitched 6 innings, allowed 1 run, but it wasn't earned, and that was on 6 hits. He struck out 4. Oh.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 8, Patrick Cromwell.
Now Patrick Cromwell to the plate to lead off the Chinook batting tonight. He comes in at batting a 204 mark. He's 0 for his last 9, though, after getting really hot early in the month of July. Comes into the game with 10 RBIs on the season. So Cromwell steps in to face Jones, and Jones's first pitch is in the zone for a called strike. That was a fastball about belt high on the outside part of the plate. So the count 0-1 on Patrick Cromwell. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that pitch also finds the strike zone a little bit lower in the zone that time. 0-2 the count. The pitch, take it on the outside, moves the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the first inning, the Chinooks trail 2-0 to the Anchorage Bucs. Here's the pitch, and Cromwell fouls that one hard toward the Chinook dugouts, staying alive in this at-bat. Keeps the count at 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, and Cromwell drives that one to center field. Coming into it is the center fielder Brody Lethbridge, but the shortstop gonna take that one, and that's gonna be out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down for Taylor Jones. Taylor Jones is a native of Kent, Washington, and he is not Grant Page. We'll talk about that in terms of his physicality. He's listed at 6'7". He got about a foot on Grant Page for his first pitch to Matt Ferrudo. Upstairs, ball 1. Ferrudo comes into the game a .254 batting average, 14 RBIs. He went 1 for 5 in his last game, and he fouls that one down the third base line out of play. Evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Last time Taylor Jones faced the Chinooks, he lasted 3 1/3 inning. He actually got taken out because of injury. But he surrendered 4 earned runs on 5 hits. He walked 4, struck out just 1. And Matt Ferrudo collects his first hit of the day, the first for the Chinooks in total, driving a single into center field, and that's a base hit. So the Chinooks with the man on and 1 out. That's going to bring up Cam Baranek. And Cam Baranek, a guy who probably saw his greatest heroic moment against the Anchorage Bucs. That came into the 13th inning of an extra inning ball game at Mulcahy when Baranek tripled, scoring the go-ahead runs in a game that seemed that could about last forever, and that was the Suns Out, Guns Out game, as Chinooks fans will fondly recall. That was in the heat of the 8-game winning streak that the Chinooks had going. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Baranek, and he takes that one low, ball 2. So the count 2-0. Matt Ferrudo taking his lead over at first. Jones sets, delivers, and that one finds the zone. A fastball right down the pipe. Brings the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Baranek had his first homer of the day. That came against the Oilers. A right field solo shot. And he takes a big swing and a miss at that one. Evens the count up 2-2. Baranek on the year, a .266 batting average, 8 extra base hits. He scored 21 runs and driven in 15 of them. Baranek, one of the guys who represented the Chinooks for the National League All-Stars this year, and very well deserving of that title. So the 2-2 pitch, and Baranek grounds that one lightly to the third baseman, but he's going to beat out the throw at first. He is safe. So the Chinooks with runners at second and first.
And Ferrudo and Baranek, who are tied with the team lead in hits, both with 29 hits this year, each single in the first inning, going tick for tack, and now up to 30 in the hit column this summer.
So the Chinooks get a pair of base hits from Cam Baranek and Matt Ferrudo, and now they have runners at first and second for the guy that leads their team in batting average, Jacob Brobst. Brobst takes the first pitch low, and here's something interesting that you'll find. Jacob Brobst and David Morton, both batting .301, the same amount of at-bats, the same amount of hits. And Brobst grounds that one to the first baseman, who can who goes to second for the lead out. So Cam Baronic's gunned down, and safe at first on the fielder's choice is Jacob Probst. So now with runners at first and third, the batter is going to be Caleb Potter, and not a bad guy to have at the plate, given how he's been hitting since the All-Star game. Since he won the Home Run Derby, he's been batting .333, a 4-game hit streak. And over that 4-game hit streak, he has 5 RBIs and 4 doubles, but he hits that one to the shortstop, who cannot make a play on it. Goes right through the legs, and coming from third to score is Matt Ferruta. So the Chinooks are on the board. Now the score 2-1 in favor of the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. And Garrett, that'll be ruled as an error, right? So an error scores the first 2 runs. And now Tyler Boxwell to the plate. Runners at first and second. Jacob Probst at second. Caleb Potter at first. Boxwell on the year, 250, 9 RBIs. His last game, he went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. That game against the Peninsula Oilers. So the count 1-0 to Boxwell. Rain starting to come down here in Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak. Nothing that'll stop play, but it'll definitely be a factor in this ball game. The 2-0 pitch, and that one misses low in the dirt, ball 3. And would you look at that, Garrett? David Morton coaching first base for the Chinooks. The 3-0. And just to get me a cross pitch there from Taylor Jones moves the count to 3-1. Still very much a hitter's count for Tyler Boxwell. Runners at first and second. 2 outs here. The Chinooks trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the first. And Jones finds the strike zone again, fighting his way back into this count. Brings the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, but 2 outs. Runners at first and second. The tying run represented at second and Jacob Probst. And with the runners going here, a base hit by Boxwell should score Probst. And Boxwell rips that one to center field, a base hit. Coming around third to score is Jacob Probst. There, the play at the third of the plate will be not in time. An RBI single for Tyler Boxwell has tied this ball game. And we are even at 2-2.
Number 12, Hunter Hanks.
So now Hunter Hanks to the plate. Hanks, 179 on the year, 8 RBIs. He's scored 11 times. Caleb Potter at second. Tyler Boxwell at first. 2 outs. And Hanks takes the first pitch on the inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. The pitch. And that one's driven into right field. A base hit coming around third, but being held up there with the late stop sign from Cody Crutcher is Caleb Potter, and the Chinooks have collected another base hit. This one coming off the bat of Hunter Hanks. So the Chinooks with 4 hits here in the first inning. And every batter since Patrick Cromwell has gotten aboard. If you include Jacob Probst getting on with the fielder's choice and Caleb Potter getting on with the error. But really and truly, this inning should have ended with Potter's at-bat, but the error over at short has allowed him to continue, and the Chinooks have made the Bucs pay for it. So now Holt Davis batting. Runners at first, second, and third. The bases are loaded. And he takes the first pitch upstairs, ball 1. Davis on the year, a 191 batting average, 4 extra base hits, and 7 RBIs. Here's the pitch. And Holtz takes the 1-0 pitch, low and away. It's going to make it 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs in a tie ball game. 2-2 the Chinooks with 2 runs on 4 hits. And Davis fouls that one off. Brings the count to 2-1. The 2-1 pitch coming from Jones. And Davis drills that one into left field, and that's a base hit. Potter comes in to score, and the Chinooks take the lead. An RBI single from Holt Davis. And the Chinooks are up 3-2 in this game. So how about that? Let's recap the inning. It started off with a fly out by Patrick Cromwell, but Ferrudo singles, Baronic singles, a fielder's choice by Brost. Potter gets on with the error. And then an RBI single from Tyler Boxwell, Hunter Hanks, and Holt Davis all singling. And the Chinooks have plated 3 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. And now Will Bass to the plate. He fouls off the first pitch. Bases are loaded. And Bass fouls that one right back into the screen, makes the count 0-2. Holt Davis at first. Hunter Hanks at second. Tyler Boxwell at third. The count 0-2 to Will Bass. The Chinooks trying to continue pounding runs onto the Anchorage Bucs here in the bottom of the first. The 0-2 pitch. And that one off the plate moves the count to 1-2. And Cody Crutcher going over to the third to have a quick word with Tyler Boxwell. The 1-2 pitch. And Bass drives that one hard but foul down the right field line, so the count's going to stay at 1-2. And the rain's still coming down here at Lee Jordan Field. The pitch. Breaking ball missing on the outside. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bass went 1 for 4 yesterday. Right, not yesterday. 2 days ago. Against the Oilers. Trying to pick up another hit here. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Bass holding off there on a ball in the dirt. The count has gone full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bases are loaded. Chinooks lead this game 3-2 over the Anchorage Bucs. A big pitch here from Taylor Jones. Jones sets, delivers the pitch, and swing and a miss, strike 3. Will Bass goes down swinging. But the Chinooks with 3 runs on 5 hits and 3 men left aboard. And after 1 inning, the Chinooks lead this game by a score of 3-2. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. You're listening to Chinooks Radio. So we are back here for the top of the second inning. The Chinooks hold a 3-2 lead over the Anchorage Bucs. They put a 3 spot up in the bottom of the first to respond to the Bucs 2 spot in the top half. The first pitch to Michael Stefanik is grounded lightly down the third base line to Patrick Cromwell, who picks it up and gets a basically not running Michael Stefanik over at first, and that's out number 1. And
Looks
it looks
like
like we're going to go into a rain delay.
Yeah, he had a tough time getting out of the box, and the umpire has seen enough, so we'll be taking a break until this thing passes.
So we will be back pretty soon, you figure. But the Chinooks with a 3-2 lead in the top of the second over the Anchorage Bucs. You can go somewhere, but make sure to come back. You're listening to Chinooks Radio.
All right, we're back here at Loretta French Park. Rain still coming down, no sign of stopping just yet, so tonight's game has been postponed due to rain, and both of these teams will be back here tomorrow for a 4 p.m. first pitch and 2 7-inning games. It'll be 2 7-inning games between the Chinooks and the Anchorage Bucs beginning at 4 p.m. So that'll wash out tonight's game. We'll start fresh again tomorrow. So Garrett Mansfield and Andrew Alex will be signing off here. We'll join you again tomorrow night here at Lee Jordan Field. Good evening, and we'll have more baseball for you tomorrow.